Welcome to Chat with Pat. I'm your host, Patricia Peters. We'll dive into fascinating topics, share inspiring stories. We're going to share our thoughts and explore new ideas. Me and you. Get ready for 30 minutes of fun, learning, and connection. Who's ready to chat? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Patricia Peters, and I'm the host on Chat with Pat. And tonight it's 12:49 p.m. a.m. in the morning, guys. Oh my goodness. And my topic for this morning is the roots they never see. The roots they never see. This is a very, very deep message I wanted to share to all my YouTubers, my Facebook fans, and to my TikTok fans out there. A very good morning to you. And I know I am a night owl. So when you're a business owner and you have the world of time on your hands and you don't have to wake up to an alarm, this is what you do. You come into your office and you want to be creative and you want to share a positive message out there. So just like a tree, life grows in two directions. A tree grows downwards into the earth before it can fully rise toward the sky. The deeper the roots, the stronger the growth above ground, right? What people see is the beauty above the surface. You see an apple tree, you see apples, you see beautiful leaves, you see a hibiscus flowers plant, you see all the beauty, you see hydrangeas, you see peonies. All you see is the beauty above, right? The surface, but you don't know what's going on under the ground. The branches, the leaves, the height. But what they don't see is the struggle under the ground. The same way this plant struggles to grow upwards, it is struggling to grow downwards as well. And once again, I am reaching out to everyone on TikTok. If you're watching me, my camera is this way and you are here. So tonight's message is the roots they never see. And for those of you who have never seen me before or watching me for the first time, my name is Patricia Peters, and I'm a Guyanese-born immigrant living in New York for 27 years. I'm a mom, a wife, a daughter, a sister, a neighbor, a friend, and above all of that, I am a digital entrepreneur, meaning I have my own business, I am my own CEO, and I run my own show. All right, so enough said about me. You always see me here sharing live on TikTok. You're seeing me sharing on StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and all the above, right? That's what I do because that's what my business entails. Me talking about the business. But in between the business, I like to share some educational stuff as well. So tonight's topic, or this morning, Wednesday morning, the roots they never see, or the depths and the rise of a plant, right? So, hello everybody. I thought you guys were sleeping. You guys are late sleepers. Oh my goodness. Amanda, Martelia, Bibi, Banalorama. Oh my goodness. XO. Wow. So the pressure, the stretching, the unseen growth, your roots are your pain, your lessons, your sacrifices, your late nights, your tears, your faith, your preparation. Everything you go through in life are your roots. And the same way you grow above the ground, you must grow below it as well, right? So if you don't see me watching over here, I'm watching over here because I have a live going on over here. Because anything that rises without deep roots will eventually fall. And you see that when there's a storm, some trees do fall because they're old and their roots are rot and decay on the ground, so they fall, right? Because anything that rises without deep roots will eventually fall. So don't despise the hidden seasons of your life. God may be growing your roots before he grows your branches. Isn't that amazing? When you come to think of it, before the tree grows its branches, God makes sure the roots are deep down in the earth. So this is going to be a steadfast tree, right? In the same way with our lives, all the hardships we're going through, all the difficult times, all the preparation, all the things that happens to you, the incidents, the circumstances, the situations that occurs in your life, those are your roots. In order for you to be a better human being, to be a kinder person, to be a loving person, to be a hardworking, successful, prosperous person, God is digging your roots deep down. And you might always ask yourself that, why God, why me? Why am I facing all this difficulty? No, it's your preparation for better and bigger and beautiful things. All right. So don't despise the hidden season of your life. God may be growing your roots before he grows your branches. Simple, right? Stay grounded, stay faithful. Your season to rise is coming. The roots they never see, by Patricia Peters. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at a massive tree and wondered how it survives storms for years? I'm one of those trees. You might be one of those trees as well, because no matter what storms come your way, you're standing there, you're surviving, right? So how does something stand through hurricanes, heavy rain, brutal winters, scorching heats, and still remain standing and fresh as ever? Have you ever looked at a tree and thought about it? Because what keeps a tree standing is not what you see above the ground, it's the roots beneath. And that's the problem with this generation. Yeah, this generation, I'm talking about you guys, you Gen Zs. Everybody wants the branches. Nobody wants the roots. Everybody wants good times, successful times, beautiful time. Everybody wants a paradise feeling, but nobody wants to go through the storm. Nobody wants to reach hardship. Nobody wants to suffer. Like many people wants to go to heaven, but they don't want to die, right? Everybody wants success, but they don't want struggle. Everybody wants elevation, but they don't want pressure. Everybody wants visibility, but they don't want preparation. But nature teaches us something powerful. A tree grows in two directions, and that's a fact. It grows upwards towards the light and downward into darkness. Hello, everybody. Good night. Good night, Indra. Good night, Lynette. Hello, what of Fujiji? Timeless. Good night, everybody, or good morning, I should say. Scientists call it photosynthesis. No. Phototropism and gravitropism. That's what the names are. Growing downwards into the darkness and growing upwards into the lights. Scientists call it phototropism and gravitropism. One growth reaches for the light, the other growth digs through dirt, pressure, resistance, rocks, darkness, and unseen places. And here's the revelation. The deeper the roots, the higher the tree can rise. You know, I was planting my garden this afternoon, and my husband, every time I plant a plant, I will dig the dirt up, put the plant in, and I mold it upwards so the tree won't fall, the plant won't fall. But him, as a farmer from Blackbush, he dig the hole, he put the plant down, cover it, but then he creates a hole around it. And I said, why are you doing that? And he said, so that when you water it, the water is not going to slide down. It's going to soak into the root and water the plant. So I was like, for years I've been doing it wrong, but my garden always comes out beautiful anyway because I have a green thumb, right? But he is more experienced. And today we did our gardening. We bought pepper plants. We bought well, we went to New York City over the weekend. One of my uncle passed away, my aunt's husband. And if you see, I just put some clips on, a little bit of clips, because not everybody is me who want to show the world my whole life. But so I just take a little snippets here and there and post it online, because they're Hindus and I don't know those stuff. So I just went there and I do my thing, give my speech, and my brother chaired the program and stuff for them, and the funeral went well. And I was there in Queens for a day and a night, and I went to 125th Street. So if you're living in the Queens area or in the five boroughs and you need plants, there is this guy who's selling really, really nice plants on 125th Street on Liberty, and it's reasonable price. So I've spent $120 in plants for the garden. But prior to that, I went to Home Depot and I bought tomatoes and eggplants and stuff already. But it's pretty expensive in upstate New York. Over here, you might have one pepper plant for $5, and you get four for $5 over there. So that's a big difference. So we got a lot. So we share with my brother, we share with our neighbors. They want Scotch bonnets, we give them Scotch bonnet. They want weary weary, we give them weary weary. So we plant habaneros, weary weary, and there is a Suriname weary pepper. It's flavorful. And we plant some pak choy, some mustard, some boras, eggplant. I still have okras and squash to plant. I'm waiting for them to grow a little bit more. And I plant all the herbs. I bought Guyanese thyme, Guyanese basil. I have American basil as well. I bought the tick leaf thyme. I bought rosemary, and I bought celery. So there's a lot of herbs going on. So one growth reaches to the light, the other growth digs down through dirt, pressure, resistance, rocks, darkness, and unseen places, right? And here's the revelation: the deeper the roots, the higher the tree rises. Some of you are frustrated because your life feels buried right now. I'm talking to you, and you, yes, and you over here. You feel like you're buried deep down into the ground, and you're suffocating, and you have no way. You feel there is no way out of that deep hole you're in. The deeper the roots, the higher the tree rise, right? And some of you are frustrated because your life feels buried right now, buried into problems, buried into bills, buried into heartbreak, buried into disappointment. I'm talking to you all. You all know what I'm talking about, because you all are going through these things every day in your lives. Buried into disappointment and buried in confusion. And we all can testify to all of these things, because this is what we go through. We're humans, and we go through these stages in life, and we question ourselves, like, why us? You look at everybody and everybody seems happy. Why are we suffering? Why are we going through problems and have so much bills, and we can't afford to pay them? And why is my heart broken because I love the wrong person, and why am I disappointed in that person? And I'm confused. And that's what your darkness is. That's what your roots are. You feel like you're buried deep down into the earth. But I'm getting to the message. Buried is rejection. You're buried into rejection. But what if you are not buried? What if you are not buried under the ground? What if you're being rooted? Change. You see that we change the perspective on our situation. We're not buried, but we're just rooted. See that there's a difference. A seed buried in the ground looks like death to people who don't understand growth. And that is so true. But to the seed, it's transformation. That seed is going to be renewed. It's going to be born again. It's going to be a brand new plant, right? And some of you are in a transformation season right now. I don't care what you're going through. I'm not here to preach you down. I'm just here to inform you. I'm here to educate you. So, whatever you're going through right now, it might be a season in your life. If you're a business partner, you're not getting any leads, or you're not getting any sales, or you're not getting any distributors, or your business is dead, dormant, and desolate. Maybe, maybe this is your transformation season right now. You're crying because life got heavy. And sometimes we all do that in our quiet moments, right? Like the other day I was driving and I played a song that I used to listen with my dad, and I could not hold it. People are watching me. I'm driving, but the tears keep flowing and I keep wiping and wiping because my heart, when the heart is sad, the eyes will flow. And my heart was sad because I was missing my dad, and the song reminds me so much of him. And sometimes we cry. It's okay to cry. And sometimes people tell you, oh, people see you crying, it's like, oh, that's just washing of the eyes. It doesn't mean anything. But when the heart is sad, the eyes will cry. The water will flow from the eyes. And you're crying because life got heavy. Your roots grow under pressure. You're upset because people walk away from you. But roots grow into isolation. Roots grow in isolation. No matter what the situation under the ground, no matter how many roots or how many rocks are under the ground, the plant will find its way to stick its roots deep down, right? You're frustrated because nobody sees you struggle, sees your struggle. Nobody sees your struggle, and you're frustrated about it. But roots grow in hidden places. I just mentioned that, right? Nobody claps for roots. Nobody celebrate roots. People celebrate the tree after it becomes visible. While I was planting my plants, every plant my husband dig down in that hole, I said, I'm planting you in the name of Jesus. I want you to set your roots firm into the ground and become a beautiful plant. A plant that will grow and bear so that I can harvest. And while I sit on my garage step looking at my husband planting these plants into the earth, I envision, and that's why you must have a vision in life. He planted one bed of pepper, one bed of bora, one bed of eggplant, and one bed of tomato. Then on the other side, he plants more peppers, and then we have a shelf next to my deck that we plant. I planted all the herbs, but we have three other beds on the side of the yard, on the other side, where we will plant the running plants like the squash, the coryllas, and the same, and all the stuff that's running, because we have a matching over there, right? So every plant my husband planted, I envision it already, how it'll look. There'll be luscious tomatoes on this bed, big purple eggplants on the other bed, hanging long, beautiful boras on the other bed, and red cherry wiriwiris. I already envision it. I already see it. And that's how I live my life. I saw my kids walking down the aisle. I saw my garden. Even though it's just planted, I already see the future of it. I envision the beauty of my garden. And people will only celebrate the tree after it becomes visible. But the tree understands something the world forgets. If my roots are weak, my success will collapse. Sometimes God make you go through difficult times so that you can be steadfast and strong and successful and powerful and prosperous. So all the hardship you're going through is only for a season. That too shall pass. So if the roots are weak, if you didn't go through hardship, how are you going to encounter prosperity. You have to go through hardship in order to come out shining and beautiful, right? Look at the diamond. It comes from the earth, but it has to be polished and go through that fiery furnace in order to make it into a beautiful diamond. And so is gold to make into beautiful jewelry. They all have to go through that process. Even the clay, a potter take that clay, mold it, fashion it, and make it into a beautiful vessel, and then he put it through fire. And then he paints it so it becomes gorgeous. So you can spend money to purchase it, right? In that same way, with our lives, God gives us situations, circumstances, difficult times, hardship, in order to build us, to give us resilience and grit and that stamina to go through life. All right, we're still with the tree and the roots, right? And for those who are just tuning in, our topic for tonight is the roots they never see. And we're talking about roots, physical roots of a plant, right? And it does have a powerful message. And if you're with me, stick with me to the end. It has a beautiful message. So I hope you're enjoying it so far. I'm referring a plant. I'm referring a plant and its roots to a person's life and the stuff they go through. If my roots are weak, my success will collapse. That's why some people rise fast and fall fast. You notice that, right? Some people will get up in life and all of a sudden they're beggars. No roots, no foundation. No discipline, no character. You getting the drift? I hope you're getting the drift. No emotional strength, no spiritual depth. Just branches with no support system, and the first storm destroys them. Can I be honest tonight? Can I be honest with all of you tonight? Some of your greatest growth happens in your darkest season. You know, when I started this business, I cried. I didn't know what is a business. I got into it because I was desperate for help. And I didn't know what business was all about. So I cried when I started this business. I didn't know how to do this and how to do that and how to use Canva and how to post and how to talk to people and how to go live and how to do TikTok. I didn't know all of these stuff. But in my darkest hour, I bloom. I'm here with you now, aren't I? Yes. I bloom, I blossom, I grow, I develop. I became the person who I was meant to be. And so, too, if you're asking yourself this question, why am I the way I am? Why am I going through these things in life? Why am I never getting by? Why am I just suffocating? It's only for a season. This too shall pass. Not when people were applauding you. So let me continue back where I left off. Some of your greatest growth happened in your darkest season. Not when people were applauding you. Not when money was flowing. Not when everybody loved you. No. You grew when your back was against the wall. Oh, this message is powerful. I feel like I'm in church today. You grew when your back was against the wall. You grew when you had to cry quietly. You grew when life humbled you. You grew when you felt abandoned, when no one cares. You grew when you had no choice but to grow. See, pain has a language. Pressure has a purpose. Storms reveal roots. Anybody can stand when life is easy, but storms expose foundation. And some of you survive storms that should have destroyed you. Some of you survive a death in the family. Some of you survive a broken marriage. Some of you survive losing your job. Some of you survive separating yourself from your loved ones. And I can go on and on. So some of us survived the storms that should have destroyed us. But you lost things, you lost people, you lost opportunities, you lost confidence, you lost sleep, but somehow you're still standing. And that's the human side of us. Do you know why? Because while life was attacking your branches, God was strengthening your roots. Whoa, that's a good one. I love it. That this message is giving me goosebumps, guys. God has, because while life was attacking your branches, God was strengthening your roots. People see the smile. You know, they say the people who smile the most are the ones who are in deep shit, the ones who are in trouble, the ones who go through so much in life, and they just put on a smile. And I'm the person who loves to smile all the time. And I'm asking myself, do people think like I'm having a hard time, or I'm suffering, or I'm starving, or I'm having a terrible life? Because I love to smile. That's what I do. That's the first thing it just comes naturally to me. People see the smile, but they don't know the story. They see the confidence, but they don't know the battles. They see the platform, but they don't know the pressure. They see the victory, but they never saw the underground season. Like, people see me in this business, like posting checks, talking about the business, doing all these things, but they don't know the quiet nights I sit in my office and I study my business. I make preparation for the next day. I prepare posters. I talk to people. I teach people. I help people. I lead people. I chair. I involve in so many things. People don't see those quiet moments, right? They don't know the pressure. All people see or they want to know is the victory. They see the victory, but they never saw the on the wrong season. And I came to tell everybody tonight or this morning, do not despise your root season. And I'll say it again. Do not despise your root season. That's when your root is digging under the ground to lay a foundation so that the plant can bloom and grow with strong branches above. Because roots determine longevity, right? Anybody can start. Anybody can start anything in life. Not everyone can last. In this business, a lot of people started, but not a lot of people end up keeping the business or doing it. They just give up. They quit before it clicks. Not everyone can last. Not anybody can talk big for a moment. Not everybody can survive pressure. You see those survivor shows. Anybody can shine temporarily, but only rooted people survive seasons. And I'm telling you, if you come from Guyana, you're stubborn as a doorpost. You're so stubborn that you will dig your feet down deep into that ground and you will work and toil and work and hear all kinds of insults and it'll be like water on duck's back because you know what struggle is, you know what hardship is, you know what suffering is, and you're not giving up no matter what your boss told you, no matter what how they insult you and how many write-ups you get and all this stuff. You are doing this job, you're making it. Anybody can shine temporarily, but only people who survive, only rooted people survive seasons. And let me say this carefully. Some of you keep comparing your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 20. Don't do that. Stop doing that. Don't look at your neighbor's car when they are here in this country for 40 years and you just came last week. Don't look at your friend's house when your friend is toiling day and night working to have what she have, and you were skylarking on your phone, sitting on your couch watching Netflix and having fun while this woman is working. Don't do that. So stop comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. You don't know what roots they had to build to handle what they carry now. Trees that grow too fast usually break faster, but trees that took years building deep roots survive generations. And I'm telling you, this message is for my business partners. If you guys are watching this, this is a boost of encouragement for you. This is like an energy drink to your soul. And maybe that's why your process has been slow. You don't know what roots they had to build to handle what they carry now. People who are millionaires in my business, we don't know the struggle they went through. We don't know the sleepless nights, the tears, the hard moments, the harsh times. We didn't know that, but we're looking at the money they're making. So trees that grow too fast usually break faster. But trees that took years building deep roots survive generations. And trust me, I'm telling you, patience, building, growing, nurturing this business is the best thing you can do. And maybe that's why your process has been slow. Maybe you start this business and you're not seeing your way. This is your root system taking foundation under the ground. And maybe that's why your process is slow, because of your roots. Because God is building something in you that you can survive success. Because if you can't handle hardship, how will you handle success? Thank you. Because success is more difficult than hardship, right? So if you can't handle the little nitty-gritty stuff in life, how are you going to handle a lot of money and fame and prosperity, right? Yes, so some people are asking God for elevation. Oh God, I want to do this. I want to become that. I want this and I want that and blah, blah, blah. But their roots cannot handle the weight of where they're asking to go. You want to be a millionaire. Do you know what it takes to be a millionaire? Because elevation without preparation becomes destruction. Love it. Elevation without preparation becomes destruction. Let me tell you something powerful tonight. The same tree that reaches upward also stretches downward, meaning your public growth should match your private growth. Your success should match your humility. Your platform should match your character. Your income should match your integrity. Because if your branches become heavier than your roots, eventually life will expose the imbalance. And that's why some people look successful, but internally they're collapsing. No roots, no peace, no stability, no grounding. And tonight, I want to remind all of you out there, protect your roots, protect your mindset, protect your mind, protect your spirit, protect your discipline, protect your peace, protect your relationship with God. Protect the unseen parts of you because what's underground determines what survives above ground. And I'll tell you something else. Roots don't compete. They don't argue with other trees. Trees stay planted. And because they stay planted, they continue growing. Some of you keep uprooting yourselves every season. You move from this business to that business, this job to that job to that job, and you like an uprooted root. Every time you see a shiny object, you jump for it. You're not consistent in your one spot where you're at. Every time life gets difficult, you quit. That's it. Why? Why? Life should be like a marriage. Until death do you part, right? No matter how difficult it is. But today, women are able with strain, that are able with people dictating their life. They don't want nobody to boss their life. They don't want nobody to insult them. They don't want nobody. Look how many people, thousands of years. I'm not saying that's right, but look how many thousands of years people have been living without divorcing. Not every little thing you'll be angry and mad and walk away. You sit, you talk, you have a conversation. You come to an agreement. I don't like X, Y, and Z. Please don't do X, Y, and Z again. You know? And you sift the matter out. And because they stay planted, they continue growing. Some of you keep uprooting yourself every season. Every time life gets difficult, you quit. Every time pressure comes, you run. Every time growth gets uncomfortable, you retreat. But growth requires staying power. Growth requires staying power. You have to stay powerful. And staying power requires roots. And the trees teaches us one final lesson. Fruit is a proof of invisible work. Nobody sees rooting producing. Nobody sees root producing, right? But eventually, everybody sees fruits. And your fruit is coming. Your healing is coming. Your breakthrough is coming. Your elevation is coming. Your testimony is coming. Your season is coming. But before the fruits, there must be roots. So if you feel hidden right now, if you feel overlooked right now, if you feel buried right now, do not panic. Roots are forming. Strength is forming. Wisdom is forming. Character is forming. Faith is forming. And one day, people will look at your life and admire the tree, not realizing the real story was hidden underground the whole time. Stay rooted, stay faithful, stay growing. Your storm did not come to destroy you. It came to reveal how deep your roots really are. And trust me, the deeper the roots, the bigger the plants. And that is the end of my message tonight. I hope I touched some of you tonight with this powerful message. If you want a copy of this, message me. I can send you a copy. You can share it with your friends. You can share it with your church friends. You can share it in your temple. You can share it at your mosque. I think it's a powerful life lesson. The roots they never see. So, with that being said, this morning, I just want to say thank you all for stopping by. Thanks for staying with me. And I know it's late and I haven't slept yet, but I did took a nap earlier today, so I'm fine. Um, I'm gonna close off my StreamYard because it's more than 30 minutes already. It's 40 minutes. I went live 40 minutes. So I'm gonna close off my stream, but you guys can stick around with me. Mhm. So thank you you guys for watching live on Facebook, and those who are gonna watch it later on a replay. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, and so I can know where you're watching from. Leave where you're watching from, and if you have questions, please leave your questions so I can answer them as well. So I always like to close my show by saying, if you look around and find that there are no good human beings in the world, please be the first one to be kind, caring, and loving. With that being said, ciao for now. Massive thank you to my phenomenal guests and to every one of you who showed up, leaned in, and listened with heart. This wasn't just a conversation, it was a legacy movement. I hope something said today stirs your spirit, sparks your next move, and reminds you that your story matters. Let's keep building, keep rising, and keep leaving footprints that generations will follow. Until next time, stay rooted, stay radiant, and stay ready. Your host, Trisha